Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling, a new revolutionary force in wrestling YouTube videos.
Whoo! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling YouTube channel video. Today, clearly, we got a big old package here. Today's package is from one of my favorite websites out there today, Ringside Collectibles. They have their Wrestlemania sale going on right now, and I decided to pick up some AEW figures because usually when they do these sales, they put AEW figures up for really, really cheap. And these were just a couple that I figured I wanted to go back and get. One of these I've actually had in the past that I sold, and I just rebought, clearly. But the two others I wanted because there's one guy in my collection who I feel like I need different attires for. And this is him. So let's go ahead and open this package. Ooh, I don't want to show too much there. Let's go ahead and open this package to show you all what I purchased from Ringside Collectibles, what AEW figures I received. I'm really not the biggest fan of a lot of AEW's figures. There's only a few that I really get. There's a few that I want to get. I want to get that Sting that recently came out, that like older Sting, where it's like the old school style of Sting. I want to get a Will Ospreay. There's a few others. Let me go ahead and pull these out so we can check them out here. Oh yeah, baby. It's all one specific guy. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out first the figure that, well, let me actually, is there a pamphlet that comes with this or no? Did I not get a pamphlet? Because you know how they usually give their pamphlets. I guess I didn't get one. That's fine. I'm going to show you guys first the figure that I've had in the past. This is the figure that I sold. Boom. Bryan Danielson. So now that we know who it is, let me go ahead and pull this guy out as well. The Target exclusive Bryan Danielson pay-per-view exclusive here. The whole reason that I got these figures, as you know, I did my most recent Pick Fed episode, my match where Bryan Danielson was a part of that. And like I said, I figured I just needed more attires for Bryan Danielson. So I went ahead and I got some. I got this Bryan Danielson figure. This is Series 5 of the Unmatched Series. Come on now, Bryan. What are you doing here, Bryan? Go ahead and stand up for me. Series 5 of the Unmatched Series. One of his very first figures. And of course, obviously, it's not the Chase, which I'm okay with. I didn't really want the Chase. I'm not a big fan of the Chase's gear. I don't like the bright red that it has. And then I also went ahead and I got the Series 9 Unmatched. This is a damaged packaging one, and clearly it's covered in dust. There's a rip right there, which I'm okay with. I expected this to be not in the best shape. I wanted it to be damaged. Nothing's taken away from the figure. The figure is absolutely fine, because obviously this was cheaper, and I'm okay with that. But it's Bryan Danielson in just like street gear. So now I have a promo style Bryan Danielson as well. And then I also received the most recent Series 11, Unmatched Bryan Danielson. Him with the eye patch, him with the longer hair, him with the newer body mold, which this was really the most important part of this, because I wanted to get this upper body mold for these Bryan Danielson figures that I have now. God, that damaged packaging one is covered in dust. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to go and open these, and we're going to take a look at each of these figures right about now. All right, so we're going to go ahead and look at the series that I originally owned, this Series 5. First off, taking a look at the accessories. First, he has this man bun head sculpt here, if I can get it to, yeah, this like short man bun head sculpt, which is probably one of the heads I'm going to use the most. It's like straight faced with the teeth. It's technically the same head sculpt as the Target exclusive, just with the hair up instead of down. And it does kind of look like the hair tone is a little different, but that's fine too. It's not really that much different. But yeah, it's pretty much the same head. And then he comes with, of course, a fist hand and then a mic holding hand as well. But the figure itself, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Here he is. The head scan that's on him is a screaming head scan with his hair kind of just down and off to the side, kind of like a middle part. He's got, of course, this gigantic torso, which we all know is not the torso I'm going to be sticking with. Like I said, I got that one Bryan Danielson so I could swap that torso. And then, this red and silver and white gear. This is one of my favorite gears of Bryan Danielson. I don't know. When I think of Bryan Danielson, to me, this is a gear I see when I picture him in my head. Is this Bryan Danielson right here? Oh, I was going to compare him to the Target exclusive, but I want to save the comparisons until we get to all of the figures at the end. But yeah, man, this is pretty much exactly how I remember having the original. It's a sick figure. It's nice. Super simple. Easy review. Bam. Whew, God, man, that thing is covered in dust. We're taking a look at the next Unrivaled Series 9, the Bryan Danielson in the street attire, the damage package that I got. And really, when you get these damage package boxes, they're really never that damaged. Like I said, there was just that tiny scratch in the corner. And it's just covered in dust. I mean, you could just get the dust off easy. But anyway, enough about that. The accessories that this Danielson comes with. It comes with 2 slapping hands. Slappy, slappy, slappy. Boom. There we go. It comes with another mic holding hand. Because there are 2 fist hands on this figure. You would think it would have more mic holding hands, with this being a promo figure, a street gear style figure, but I guess not. But it's okay because you do get an AEW microphone as well. I have like a million of these things, and they're super duper small. I don't need any more. I even have a couple Ring of Honor ones, but it's okay. And now getting into the Bryan Danielson itself. Here we go, guys. Look at this goofy, big old smiley head sculpt. This is what we needed out of this Bryan, this goofy, smiling head sculpt with the man bun. He's got these, he's got this like super duper white t-shirt, a super generic white t-shirt, nothing too crazy. When you take it off, of course, underneath, he's got that gigantic Bryan Danielson torso that all of his other figures have. Like I said, I'm not going to be using it much, so it doesn't matter. Really, the main part of this figure that we were looking out for is these like jogger pants. These are pretty sick. They put a lot of detail into them. Detail in the pockets, detail in the little string on top, detail in the bagginess. And then in the shoes as well, there is crazy detail in these like running shoes. You could even see like the divots on the bottom, but my only worry, and we're going to test it out now, is how well it stands with these divots on the shoes. I hope like it doesn't hurt it or anything like that, but man, this head sculpt is crazy looking, this big old goofy smile. Okay, no, he stands all right. I mean, I'd say he stands pretty fine, yeah. Oh, there he goes. But I do have another shirt that we could throw on this guy. Like I said, we showed off the Bryan Danielson from the Target exclusive. I want to put that shirt on this guy and see how that looks on this, to actually have a Bryan Danielson branded t-shirt on this promo gear. So let's go ahead and throw that on real quick. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty sick. I don't know how well the red matches with like that pukey green, but it is what it is. Street attire Bryan Danielson with Danielson branded t-shirt and not just bright white t-shirt from his debut. And then again, like I said, we get another Bryan Danielson head sculpt to have with the man bun. Now, let's get into this last figure. All right, here we go. And now, finally, the whole reason for this package in the first place, really. This Unmatched Series 11, which I'm realizing now every Bryan Danielson we've got is an Unmatched Series, unless it's that Amazon 2-pack. I even think the Target exclusive might have been like a weird Unmatched Series thing. Or no, it was the pay-per-view thing. But you know what I mean. We have a lot of unmatched Bryan Danielsons. But he comes with this eye patch head here from was it the Continental Classic that he was doing? With the long braided ponytail there. This is a really nice head sculpt. Super slick. I just don't like how shiny it looks. It's like crazy shiny. You can even see it in the light. It's got a crazy shine to it. And then probably the best Bryan Danielson out hands we've seen, where he just has all of his fingers out and he's just got his arms spread, you know. These are definitely the best hands we've seen out of that, rather than the promo attire. Those silly, flat, slappy hands. And then finally, getting into the figure itself, the Bryan Danielson, which this is probably the best representation of Bryan Danielson we've gotten out of every one. This is the best body shape. This is the best like head scan. In my opinion, personally. Here we go. We're going to get right into it. He's got the smaller body shape rather than this gigantic one that they, for some reason, kept giving us. Now he's got more of like the MJF style body, which this fits a lot better than what they've been giving us as of late. And then, of course, the white wrist tape, the arms, it's all there. You know, you gotta love it. The screaming head sculpt with the eye patch. It's not even an eye patch. It's like an eye flap at this point. Like, I don't even know what you would call that. Obviously, at some point, I will use these eye patch heads. I just got to find a cool way to do so. But then, of course, the Danielson gear, which is probably some of the sickest Danielson gear he's had yet. The, like, broken chain with the bloody and fiery Bryan Danielson. God, yeah, this is such sick gear. Probably some of the best Danielson gear. I remember when he was in the tournament and he came out in this gear, I was like, this is definitely something they should make a figure of. And when they do, I'm going to get it. And sure enough, when I saw it was on sale, I was like, yep, gotta get it. Gotta get it. So check that bad boy out. Whenever I do figure purchases nowadays, it's really just anything that's on sale. It's the best way to do it anymore because everything is expensive. Now we're going to go ahead and do the comparisons of all the Bryan Danielsons. I did say I was going to give you a side-by-side comparison of each Bryan Danielson that we got here. So starting off with the one that we just showed off, Eye Patch Bryan, we'll put him all the way at the end here. There we go. Next to him, we'll go ahead and we will throw the Target exclusive, pay-per-view exclusive, whatever it's called, Bryan Danielson, which this gear is really sick. Revolution, I think he wore this gear at. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I think it's Revolution. But there's that. And then we have the, I guess, one of his first matches. This one would be the series, which one did I say this was? Series 5, Bryan Danielson. We'll throw that one next to all of these. And then finally at the very end, of course, we'll throw the promo gear. Oh, gosh darn it. You Target exclusive. There we go. Yeah, and then finally all the way at the end, the promo gear Bryan. Take a look at that. I mean, you know, they're sick. They're really cool figures altogether. Now I have a full selection of Bryan Danielsons that I can use at my disposal. Yeah, you know, the height's there. I feel like this one is definitely the most accurate with the height. If I were to throw, let me see, where is CM Punk at? If I could throw my CM Punk next to this Bryan Danielson, I feel like maybe he'd probably look the most realistic, the one all the way at the end. You know, because recently when I was doing my pick fed and I did the CM Punk promo, I was like, man, Bryan Danielson just looks so gigantic next to CM Punk. But yeah, look at that. That is definitely the best looking Bryan. Oh, there they all go. That's definitely the best looking Bryan next to CM Punk for sure. Pull it in the middle here. Yeah, take a look at that. That is probably the most accurate looking Bryan they've made yet. Now, let's go ahead and do some torso swaps. I want to see what all of these guys look like with this better Bryan Danielson torso. Okay, showing off first the promo gear. I mean, it's weird that a promo gear, you know, him coming out with street gear would have wrist tape, but I mean, it's Bryan Danielson. If there's ever a guy who would just constantly be in his gear, I feel like Bryan Danielson would be that guy. The goofy head sculpt that we have here, the skin tone is really weird. It's like a darker skin tone. compared to any of the Bryan Danielsons we have here. I don't know why they gave him like this weird, sickly, pukey skin tone, and you can kind of see it in the torso too. It's like a weird, sickly skin tone. I don't know. But I mean, you know, I'm probably not going to use this torso on this body. When I use this Bryan, I'll probably just use the big one because the shirt's covering it up. So what does it really matter, you know? But yeah, you know, let's head swap it too. I want to see what this promo gear looks like with the better Bryan Danielson head on it. Let's throw this like angry head on it here. Oh God, if I could even get it on. That'd be crazy. Don't tell me it doesn't fit. That's nuts. Oh no, there we go. Okay. Oh, it's really high up though. Oh no, does this head not fit on this body? Man, the whole reason we got... Oh no, there we go. Why was that so hard? For some reason, this head was really hard to get on this body. You heard my frustration there and struggle. But there we go. Bryan Danielson promo gear with that head on it. The man bun head on it. It looks sick. There we go. Not sick like the original head that was on it. Oh yeah, take a look at that too. You could even tell. I mean, like, the thighs are a little big, but the upper body just fits so much better with this Bryan Danielson. He looks, I don't know, the smaller body just fits Bryan Danielson so much better. I don't know what Jazzwares or AEW were thinking when they made the first few and they gave him that gigantic body mold. But this fits so much better. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but this just fits. Yeah. Yeah, this is the... If you are a Bryan Danielson fan, if you're a big Bryan Danielson fan, this is a much needed upgrade for all of your Bryan Danielson figures. This torso right here is perfect. I don't know, I just feel like this is the perfect shape. This is the perfect size of Bryan Danielson. Obviously, he's never been a big guy, but for some reason, like I said, AEW just figured we got to make this guy super duper jacked. And this just looks fantastic as I throw him to the mat. Yeah. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me here. If you did, checking out our package that we received from Ringside Collectibles, the Wrestlemania sale of all of these Bryan Danielson figures. If you enjoyed this, make sure you tap that like button to let me know that you did. Leave a comment as well. And more importantly, hit that subscribe button and tap that bell notification so you never miss an upload on this channel. And yeah, wow.